Craig, defeat at home this afternoon to Doncaster. Can you give us your reflection on the performance this afternoon?
Oh yeah, we're a humbling defeat, weren't it? I think for us as a new group, if we're having that ambition to be a top 5, top 6 team, that's a standard that you need to be at. I thought Doncaster were outstanding. I thought they were relentless in that first half. Said to the guys in there that the game's about physicality, it's about force, and if one individual comes more force than the other, they're going to win that contact both sides of the ball, and Doncaster did that. And then we're getting rolled defensively, and then we're getting his hands on the ball. Certainly in that first half, it was very basic. We came with a bit of a plan to try and go foreman to foreman and move the ball a little bit, but we never did that. And obviously lost Jordan. Once that happened again, playing with one half back and a hooker at the other half back as well, you lose that little bit of direction. But first and foremost, I thought his defence was really poor, and even with Jordy on the field, I think we were 16-0 before Jordy went off. We didn't have that direction anyway.
Up until now, defensively, you've spoken, been really pleased with that. Today, the complete opposite. Just how disappointed were you with that as a whole this afternoon?
Massively, but I think, like I said, it highlights the difference in where Doncaster are compared to maybe the teams that we've played so far. That's not being disrespectful to the teams that we've played, because I guess we're in that bracket ourselves. We need to use that. As you said to the players, there's two ways you can respond. You can sit and sulk and feel sorry for yourselves, or you can look at the level where you need to be at individually, as a group, everything that you do, whether it's your prep in the game, prep for the game, whether it's the work that you're doing in the weight room, and the information that you're taking on previews and reviews, the content that's being delivered on the field, and how you're impacting on that as well. So we need to up our game massively. So we've done okay so far this season. We've done okay, but okay is not going to be good enough to get us into the place at the end of the year. But again, like I said to the players, that it's really important that we don't lose heart based on that one performance. We've got to try and use it as a positive and use it as an area where we need to get better. It's a long season. You need to be peaking at the end of the season. If we do that, then that's fine. But if we don't do that and we don't use these games as lessons of where we need to get better and where we need to improve, then it's going to be a long season for them.
It felt carbon copy early on in that first half to Oldham when we lost Marshy, we lost Geordie after the 10-15 minutes. Again, we feel like we're doing it tough at the minute with injuries, don't we?
Yeah, we are. And we had a lot of players out. All three back rows are out, and Peachy were out, and Fitz is going to be out for another 2 or 3 months as well. Lost Jordan again, so it's difficult. But there's certain aspects in that game that it don't matter who's in them 17 shirts. There's certain aspects in that game where you need to be better. You need to be physically stronger, and a lot of that's an attitude thing for you as an individual. So that's where, for me, the players can have a look at the replay, have a look at the video, and see where the Rooks where they lost, why they lost them. It's a game of force, and if one team's got more force than the other, then they're going to win them contests.
You can tell everyone's really disheartened by that result this afternoon. Players in there, I can imagine it was a very honest conversation between everyone at full time.
It was, but it was also quite pragmatic. I think Griff has spoke about that as well, and he had some good words in the change room there that say, look, let's be disappointed, let's be frustrated, let's be annoyed, but let's not let it impact on us too much. We need to get back on the horse for next week, because again we're playing probably the hardest contest of the season next week at London away. So if we feel sorry for ourselves all week and we go down there, then it's going to be a long day. So we need to make sure that we try and get some bodies back on the field and play a lot better than what we did today.